Hello, hello, hello. Crafter Chris here with your Scraps for Thursday night. I am just going to go over a couple of things. I put this all in the notes. You should have your orange, your green, your yellow, your blue, your pink hexagonal shapes. 2, 4, 6. Yes, hexagonal shapes, sorry. My brain went for a minute. Little bit of twine, some pop dots, some washi tape, a border that you created using a scallop cutter, and I have some flowers and some buttons to do some of the decorating. And you want your photo mat and your 3 photo spots that are 3 inches by 3 inches, so that we can create this one-page layout. So having said that, I'm just going to move everything out of the way for a moment. I'm in the midst of a few different projects, so I'm on my craft mat or my glass mat today because I am doing some mixed media things. Alrighty. So I'm just getting a few things out of the way. Okay, so the first thing I did, as I described, is I cut a piece of paper 11.5 by 11.5 inches so that it can go over top of the colored cardstock with a nice border around the edge. However, I don't want to waste the paper that's in the inside, and I think if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I do my best to conserve paper because I'm a scrapaholic, meaning I love to keep my scraps. So I am going to cut the inside out. I use my my Fisker's cutter because it has a 1-inch side past the cutting blade, and I just line up the outside edge to my 1-inch mark, and then it also shows me the 1-inch mark coming down, so I line my blade up with that, and then I push, and at the bottom here I have my 1-inch mark as well, so that's where I stop. So I drag this all the way down until that 1-inch mark, and I stop. Then I do the same thing to the next side. I'm already down here, so I start at the 1-inch mark and move up, and then I turn it again, line it up, and I'm at the 1-inch mark up there, so I just come down and turn it again, and I'm down here, so I just go up. There we go, and there's my inside piece cut out. And this goes in my green folder for paper I can use for other projects. Alrighty, so let me get this out of the way. Okay, so now I'm going to mount my white on my green, and if you notice the back, there's plenty of area for me to do the mounting. So I just go around the outside edge of my paper with my tape runner. As soon as I find it here, there we go. Whoops, take the cover off. And because it's a little bit flimsier, I try to make sure that I have a fair amount of adhesive on each side, so it holds together. But basically the weight of your project is going to be on the white paper. And I try to figure out where the center spot is, line it up as best I can, and then I just push her down. There we go. Here we are. Whoops, seems quite a bit off there. Let me adjust that slightly. Hopefully the other paper is straight. There we go. We're all good to go. So in thinking about this layout, I want to have in my brain where I am going to have my photos. So I've decided already I want to have 3 photos just below center, and I don't know where. Oh, here they are right beside me. Sorry, too many projects on the go. So this piece of paper is going to show up much better after I get all the color on the page. And I am going to have this come right to the edge and just a little bit lower so that my 3 photos, I've tried to outline them a little bit so you can see where they're landing. Put that over here. And then this goes in the center like that. So my 3 photos are somewhere in this range, just a little below center. Okay, so center is here. The center of this is just about a ½ inch below. Okay, so that's how I'm playing out all of my colors and everything. Or is that a little too low? Maybe I'll just do a quarter below. So if here's my center, yeah, you know what? I am going to change my mind, and I'm going to make that 6 inches because that looks a little bit better. And we have a lot of laying out to do. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to trace this photo mat very, very, very lightly. Since I know it's going to be centered, I'm just going to line up my board with my mat and sort of eyeball it, but this will tell me where to put my decor. So we're imagining very light lines. Oops. All right. So you can't see it very well, but I do have my outline of my mat on there. And I just realized that I don't want to have pencil marks on the front. So make sure you get those pencil marks if you have any. Okay. Alrighty. So now I start to do my placement. Alrighty. Let me just get a little organized and get my colors here. So I think I'm going to start with my pink and see what I can do there. Okay, so I have my little sketch here that I am looking at while I am working. Okay, I don't think I will start with that. I think I'll start with green. So let's see how we do with green. Alrighty, so now what I'm trying to do is I am trying to indicate where all the pieces of my hexagonals are going to go. So I'm going to make like a bit of a, what do you call it, like a path, how you would place a path, interlocking path. So that's what I'm trying to sort of get at when I'm placing these guys. And I want to have them close enough that you can see the color of them. And also I want to intersperse a few darker ones in there just to draw some interest. Let's see, I can put that one there. And in some of the spaces, I'm not going to worry about that because I've got some little puffy dots that I can add in there. Maybe I'll put that one there. So this is the thing that's going to take the most amount of time. And so you want to make sure that, how do I want that to go? I think I want it to go kind of like that. And these are two big ones. This is a small one. And that's a small one. And I think I'm going to put that in there just to break up that green pattern. Okay, so I'm going to keep these guys aside just to make sure that I'm okay with this. Now I'm going to move the orange. I might actually put a few more in there. Let's see. I've got too large. Let's do another. Yeah, let's do a large one. Kind of wanted this to go like that. There we go. Whoops. Everything is falling down. Oops. Every once in a while I use things around my office to hold my wires. And then when I do that, of course, it pulls things down. Alrighty. So I'm going to see what I want to do with those. Keep these to the side. All right, actually I have some space up here. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to use that there. Maybe right there. Okay. Alrighty, now moving on to orange. I think I want to put orange over here. And I've got several patterns, but the biggest amount I have is in this one pattern. So I'll put that like that. And oh, that's too many altogether, so let's get a smaller one. You can go there. Then you can go there. Alrighty. And this one can go in there. Like I said, I'm not worried about the spots because I have things that can go in there. This is going to go down here. That can go in there. This little guy can go in there. Gonna have this guy go in here. Maybe I'll pull him just a little bit further out. So you're just playing around with it, seeing where you want things. This one is bigger, so I'm going to put that one in there. And then this one can go here. That one can go there. So do you see how I actually will push these in a little bit closer. So I want it to be a little bit organic, if possible, so that it's not lined up like an absolute grid. So these little pieces show up as little pieces. And they make the edges a little more organic. we go. Alrighty. Maybe. Something a little like that. All right. So I'm still watching my line. I think I'm going to do pink down here. Do I want yellow and green? Yep. So I just have to find my pink. There is my pink. All right, so I have a few different pinks. And this one needs a bit of a trim. I find with vinyl surfaced sparkly stuff, it doesn't cut as well in cutters, so you may have to adjust in order to be able to. Okay. Let's see. Whoops. In order to be able to have a clean shape. Now these I don't mind going in totally different directions. I want this little guy to be in there. So what I mean is the pattern going all in the same direction. I don't really care about that. I'm not paying much attention to that. Do I want, you know what? I think I'm going to put one of these guys here. And we're going to just let that go a little bit underneath. And 1, 2, 3. I think I'll put another one of these here. And then we'll put this guy here. Move this guy over just a tad so that he goes underneath a little bit. Do you want him to be the right side up though? Which do I prefer? Having them coming down or going up? Huh. It's all kind of like a little mini math game here. I want to put, actually I'm going to take him, no. I'm going to put him down here. And this guy is going to go over here. Guy's going to go in there. This guy is going to go in here. And I think we're going to put this guy in there too. That way. There we go. I still have flowers and things to put on. All right, so we're moving to yellow and then we'll do blue. Okay, so yellow I don't seem to have as much of. Isn't that interesting? So yellow. Okay, anyway. So we're going to have a blue one and a medium-sized one and another medium-sized one. Let's put him facing the other direction. Get you kind of feeling playful. Uh-huh. Put this one there. There we go. And then the blue, and then we'll kind of play around a little bit with it. This is the difficult part. So we have this blue, we have this blue, that blue goes with that blue, and then we have this stripe blue. So I might want to tighten up a little bit, or I might want to take some of the green out. Don't know yet. Alrighty, so okay, couple of big ones, put a small one in there, the big one here. Little guy. I like this piece better than that. Okay, so I need to move something into this corner. So I am going to move this guy, no, I'm going to move this little guy into that corner. And then I move this guy down here. This guy over here. Maybe move the bigger guy over here. So it does take a little bit of thinking. You want the colors to kind of blend together. It's okay to leave some space, but you don't want to leave too much space. All right, there's too much of this, so this guy here. That guy's going to go in there. Sorry, this is a bit of thinking. And then we're going to have that guy there. Okay, now there we go. All right, so we have our pieces laid out. Just going to put these inside in case I feel that I need them. I'm just wondering if I were to pull this down, but I kind of like it to be a little less structured. There we go. I think that made the difference on the bottom there. And there's something that's not quite right here. So I'll put you there. I'll put you there. And that's a little better over there. Or do I even need that one? Or if I put it in there. Now, you know what? I'm going to keep that out unless I change my mind later. So now at this stage, I want to take a picture of it because we're going to start sticking this down before we put any other elements. And if you've watched me before, you know that I use my phone a lot. And it helps me to keep my ideas organized while I'm gluing. So this is what we are doing right now. And I'm just going to have it sit there so that I can see it. Have it in the right direction. There we go. Alrighty. Like it. Like it a lot. There we go. Now I can really look at it. All right, so glue. We're going to use our adhesive, and I'm just going to start sticking these down where I had them positioned. So So that's going to go there as my first one. And same thing happens with all the rest. All right, so I am going to stick all of this down, and I'm going to give you the time to do that at home, and then we'll meet back for the next step. Alrighty, so I have finished putting my pieces down, so they're all stuck down now, and you can see the back. We've taken out that piece. Okay, this has a little glitter in it. We'll get to the decorative stuff later. So now at this point, I want to just make sure that if I'm covering up a few things, it's not looking too badly. All right, so now before I continue, I want to get some of these lines off because I have an idea of where my space is now. And I don't want to have to struggle doing that the more things I get loaded on my page. Okay. All right, so now across the bottom here, I want to put some washi tape. So I've got a couple of washi tapes. I've got blue and pink. And I also have a piece of paper that I asked you to cut with a bit of a border to it. So this, if we lay it out, I'm just going to sticky tack this down lightly because I have to move underneath it. So I'm just going to take some repositionable tape. Just 2 pieces is all you need. Don't have any. I usually have some lying around because I use it for lots of different projects and I reuse it. All right, let me just line this up a little bit so I have a better idea. And this is going to go about there. And of course, because I'm using tape, it's not going to lie down. You know what? Just realized I'm doing that on this border. There we go. More or less. Okay, so now a couple of things. I'm going to be building up some washi tape. So the first thing I'm going to put down is my pink tape, and my pink tape happens to have a statement on it. It says with love, with love, with love, but yours may have something else. And this is probably going to go, I don't want it to go right to the end. So let's just maybe say that it is, so I'm doing some measuring with my board as we speak. So we are going to say about 11 inches and tear it off. I want the raw edge, and I want this to go just below where my picture is and to the edge of the left side. Come on. There we go. To the edge of the left side, just under the picture. Now, one of the things I do want to make sure is that I have it sort of straight. I don't want to find out afterwards that it's crooked. Sometimes once you put this stuff down, you can't get it back up. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, there we go. On top of that, I'm going to get a piece of washi. This is my blue washi, a little bit thicker. And I haven't opened it in a while, so usually the first inch is really a pain in the neck to open up because it's dried up somewhat. It's not in a happy place. So you just got to get it to that spot where it's like the air hasn't reached it. And it takes a bit of time. And I just push it with my nail till I get it all into one piece so that I can pull it all at once and I won't end up with several different pieces coming off. Okay, and then you're just going to pull it gently, about an inch. There we go. Oop. This is going to be a challenge because it's all sticky there. So the thing about washi tape is you get what you pay for. So if you're going to try and go cheap, you're going to end up with cheap washi tape that sometimes gives you a problem. You can be lucky sometimes. I'm not very lucky right now, and I'm just realizing if I keep pulling this, all of the glue is staying on the top surface. So this isn't going to work for me. I'm just going to grab another one. In fact, this is just, in my mind, this is garbage. So it just went in the garbage bin. And I'm going to grab a different blue off my washi sticks. I have my washi on my closet door on the outside so I can see it. I don't want dark blue though. And the reason I do that is so that that's too green. I'm going to try the hearts. No, that's too... Maybe this one. I was hoping for a thicker one, but oh well. Changing plans. So I have dowels on my door that help me to keep my washi tape, and I just hang them on little 3M hooks. And that's, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of washi out there. Try to organize it by color. Oh, this one's beauty. Now this one is going to go underneath, but a little bit shorter. And tear that off. That's very nice washi. You can tell the difference right away. So now I'm going to line this up. So it just pokes a little bit out on this end, and put the same amount on that end. There we go. So we've got our blue and our pink washi, and then below that I am going to put my little border. And my border, I don't like the way it's ending. It's too stiff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut on an angle. So from the angle of the curve here, I'm just going to cut straight across. I think that's my solution. Let's see if it works. Oh yeah, I like that a little better. I don't mind it being straight here because we're probably going to cover most of that up anyway. Alrighty, let me just get some adhesive on here. We'll stick this down. Oops. Oh. There we go. All right. So that's just going to come out here and go right below the washi tape. So we have a little bit of a border. There we go. All right. So now we're going to fill in with some dots. So I have some string as well. I haven't opened these yet. And I probably will likely put them in a different container. Okay, so I want to do a few orange dots. And I don't want all the colors to be in one place. So definitely we're using these. Now the green, I don't know, I'm going to use the darker green. And I think I'll use these blue. I sort my little doodads by color anyway, so I don't mind taking them off. All right, so I am going to put a few dots in amongst that are green. I like to stick with odd numbers. So I'm going to start with that first. Okay, so we'll stick those down first. And we got orange. There we go. Then we have pink. And then we have yellow. We'll only do 2 on the yellow, I think, because that's sort of all the space we have. I think I'm going to move this in there. There we go. So I've got my first layer. Now I'm going to take some pink, and I'm going to put some pink in with the yellow and the blue. And I'm going to take 3 I'm going to take 5 pinks and just disperse them around. So I've got those 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is my first run of pink. Then I'm going to put some orange with the pink, and one with the blue, one with the green, and one here with the yellow. Okay, then I'm going to have a couple of yellows. Okay, then I'm going to have a couple of blues. Oh, did blue, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's right. And then a couple of greens. There we go. that over there. Put this down here. There we go. Okay, so that's it for dots. Big dots anyway. Okay, now let me put down my mats just so I can see where my pictures are. Again, I'm going to use some repositionable tape. Can I actually put down? Oh, I can now adhere this permanently. So let's do that. And so we don't waste this paper or this tape, we're going to put it on one of our pieces. So why don't I just do all that first? There we go. Don't need a lot, just enough to keep them on there so you can see what the positioning is. Oops. And these are 3x3 photos, which I've alluded to. All right, and this guy will go in the middle, a little bit on either side. There we go. Okay, now we can stick this whole thing down. Oops, come on. Alrighty, turning this sideways so I can line this up again, more or less in the center, along the white page. Yeah. There we go. Now, when I put the photos on, I'm going to corner round the corners of the photos. Okay, just so you know that in advance. All right, so now I'm going to look at buttons and flowers. So let's first see what we have in the way of flowers. I do a lot of flower shaping, so I often will have little baggies of flowers. It looks like I have pink, and it looks like I have yellow. And I often will, when I'm bored, I'll just sit in front of the TV and shape them. I don't have anything else. I don't want to bring purple in. So that's all I have for there. So let me just take a look. And these are going to be bases. They're not going to be, I'm not going to have them as, where's my yellow? Flowers, shaped flower. Well, maybe I will. Just a very simple shaped flower. There we go. So that could be one there. It'll have a center, so it'll stick out a little bit more. And that's all I really want from the yellow. And I think I can use at least one pink. Maybe a larger pink. Have to see. There we go. Only want one of those. Not going for big amounts here. Not going to put leaves or anything. They're just going to be random flowers. And let's see what I have in this pile. And this is like truly using up what you got. Alrighty, I have like all kinds of different things in here. Don't want any of those. I've already got my pink. And should show you this. So I have this little container full of bits and bobs, and oh, there we go. Oh, there's some more orange. That's kind of antique-y orange. Kind of big. That's not the right kind of green. Oh, that yellow is kind of fun. Maybe I'll do a yellow from here instead of the other one. Put that aside. That yellow's cute. It's already to go. Why not use it? Okay. Don't really like any of those. Put that back. That's got too much red in it. Here's some orange, and these are felt, so why not bring that into it? And the orange, I have more space, so I can maybe do a larger flower. I like spiky flowers. So I think I want one of these guys. One of these guys with a center. You know what? I'm going to use a button for that one. Okay. That would be good. I don't think, oh yeah, I do have green flowers. I was going to say, I don't think I have green flowers. I also have, no, it's too pale. There we go. Green flower. Oh, I see a better green flower. Green flower with a pearl in the middle. There we go. Oops, sorry, turning out the lights there. And I just need blue now. I don't know if I even like that. That might be a little too big for what's going on. And it's not quite the right color. Keep digging. Somewhere down at the bottom of all this, there'll be something. I think that's too turquoise. Yeah, too turquoise. This might be too pale. Yep. Yep. Come on. That's not bad, but it's big. I think if I use that, I'm going to have to put... Yeah, it's way too big. So I'm going to drop these down. Huh. Oh, these have red in them. Maybe I can find one without much red. That could work. Yeah, let's make that work. Alrighty, so now, do I want to have flowers everywhere? I don't know, but we will find out. Put that back. Whoops. It probably helps if I put everything back in it properly, which doesn't seem to happen when I'm in the middle of creating. Nothing gets back properly. Alrighty. There we go. Alright, and then I want a few buttons. Let's see. Let's see, we've got a few things going on here. Okay. So I want something for the center of that orange flower. Something that do I want a big button in the circle, or do I want a small button in the circle? Let's do a small button. So these are sticker buttons. So they're not exactly real buttons. So there's one flower. And that's good. So I'm good with one flower. And that flower has everything it needs. This one has everything it needs. I think we might try to move these around a little bit so they're not on a level playing field. And this one, I'm going to put some epoxy or something in the center of that so that can go there. Now, do I want any just buttons? Or do I want to put a button on the pink? These are all questions that need to be answered. There's pink and black. That's not very interesting. There's pink with a little pink button. Maybe. Give it a little more interest. Oh, there's a better color. Uh-oh, where'd you go? There we go. Much better color. There we go. Okay, so that's it for buttons. What else do I want? Oh, and I want some pearls. So let me just get that out. I have yellow. I don't think that's going to be good. No, but I have yellow crystal drops. And I have, this one is red berry. It's hard to see. Yeah, it's red. So we don't want that one. And that's Christmas red. Okay. I do have some greens. So I have green, I have yellow, and I know I have other colors of other things. So those are Nuvo Drops, and now I'm digging in my container. This is my glitter ink and pearl container. And I have, looking for a pink, a good pink. Is that too bright? Is that too dull? What is that color? Can't tell. It might be too purpley. Okay, I know I have a blue, but that might be too blue. Got green and yellow. How about that for an orange? Or is that too pale? Maybe too pale. And this is ruby red. That's not good. Okay, I have a tropical orange and flamingo pink. I just need a blue. That's all I need is a blue. So I've got these two blues. I think I'll go with that blue. So there's my colors. Alrighty. Now, so let's just finish up here. So first, before we put on our dots, we are going to glue down our flowers, and we're going to use glue dots for that. They're the easiest thing to use on flowers. You can use glue if you want, but it's kind of messy. So I just stick my glue dot on the back, rub it off, it pops off, and then I pop it down. Okay, same with the next one. Rub it on, pop it off. Whoop. I'm going to make sure it sticks on there. Pop it off. There we go. These two are stuck together. Now I need to give this a little bit of height. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some white pop dots. Some white pop dots, and I'm going to just pop dot under the underside of the petals, just to bring them up a little bit off the back. It's probably a big use of pop dots, but that's okay. I use lots of pop dots. Okay, and I want regular adhesive in the inside place, so I'm going to put a glue dot there, and the pop dots are to give it height. And I wouldn't usually use this much adhesive on one dot on one flower, but this is a felt flower, so they're a little tricky in terms of getting them to stay on things. Oops, getting all stuck to it. There we go. And I think I had it there, so I'm going to push it down in the center first, and then the pop dots will handle the rest. There we go. So that just brings it off the page a little. Alrighty, and we have a pop dot here that needs, or a flower that needs some adhesive. So I'm going to rub that all the way around. And if your centers are off a little, you can adjust them. There we go. This is looking good. Now this one, because it's paper, I am going to round it, and I'm just going to round it with my fingernail. You've seen me do this before, I think. And it's just to give it some You can use a special stylus and stuff, but you can also just use your fingernails. It works just as well. Just make sure you don't pull anything off. All right, so I'm going to have a pop dot in the center, and that will bring it down to paper level. Whoop. So that was going to go in there. So that just gives it a little bit of puff. So this one, we're just going to bend the leaves up a little and try to do a little bit of curling. Oops. Just flattened out the other side by sliding my finger off. Now I'm going to cut a glue dot in half because I have a small button to glue in, and I have the little floral piece here to glue in. There we go. And take that last piece, that last half piece. Now for this button, because it's so tiny, I'm going to fold this half piece of glue dot so that it will fit on the button. And the button then goes in the center. There we go. All right, so let me lift this up so you can see what's happening here. Okay, actually, I might need to move you. Too late. Alrighty. Okay, so let me just clear my mess here a little bit. Okay, now we're going to do some dots, and we're going to do them on the white and off the white, and they're going to be smaller. Whoa! Try and take some of that off. It's always a good idea to try and start this. So it can be on and off the paper. Okay, so there's pink. Orange will do the same. Because these colors are so light, I think I might make the dots just a little bit larger. Okay. Now, getting to blue, so blue's a little darker. Alrighty. Okay. And now we're going to do some yellow. And just want to make sure this is started, because these are dimensional dots. You don't want to press right down on the paper. And I have to move around with this. And whoops, something happened there. Must have touched something. Oh. All right. Now we will add some green. Make sure the green comes out okay. There we go. All right. So there we go. We have big and little dots, but we are not finished yet. Okay, so this next part you have to do kind of carefully because you don't have all your dots dried. You want to make sure that you're not running into trouble. So I'm putting my title on, and it's You Are Grr and an 8 with an exclamation mark. Okay, so those are my pieces. I am going to raise the grr. Actually, I'm going to raise the 8. I'm going to leave everything else on its own because this is chipboard already. So I kind of want it to play off. I want the 8 to go underneath. So maybe I'll start with the 8. And you know what? I'm going to stick this on the side of my board so I don't get it all stuck all over my page. And I want to pop this Maybe I don't want to pop this. I kind of have to pop it. Okay. So I'm going to pop these things, and it's not going to be easy. So bear with me. You do have to have some patience with these. The circles are fine for circly bits. They pop very easily. But then you have other bits. And in the same way that I cut the glue dots, oh, come on, off, off, off. There we go. I'm going to trim the pop dot in half as well. So I'm going to put half of this pop dot, no, it's not, doesn't want me to have the top left on it. Half of it at the top, and then half of it at the bottom. Okay, so these two pieces are now popped up, and I kind of want them to come down. And I just want to see my size. And I think I better put these guys on first. So we're putting the grr on there first. So the grr is going to come just underneath the photo mat. Try to keep it straight. Not like that. There we go. Grr. I've already got the 8 stuck to me. And the UR is going in front of that. And this UR is not black. It's actually a dark, dark, dark green. And this is how I use up my leftover letters. So UR, grr. And now, this is where I have to pop them. And I was in the middle of doing that. So I've got my exclamation mark done. I now need to do my 8. And hopefully my plan will work. Where halves should fit. Yep, I think we're going to be okay. Halves are fitting perfectly. You want to get the small dots, not the big dots. Otherwise this may not work too well. And take off the little bitty bits. Okay, all right, so now I gotta put my exclamation mark. And that's gonna go right there. And my 8 is gonna go right under my R. Whoa! My dot hasn't been taken apart yet, that's why. And my dot is going to go right there. You are great! Not done yet. Still using up stuff from the stash. Alrighty. So the last thing I want to do for that is going to be, I will likely use glossy accents or whatever, the liquid glossy stuff on that and that, so they pop a little bit more. And the other thing I want to do is add some string. So my string, I just want to lay sort of in and around here. It's not going to have a specific location, but it's going to be sort of drapey. Okay, so let's put on our string. The string kind of goes together. Now, do I want pink or do I want blue? Pink or blue? I think I'm going to put blue. Although, yeah, let's see how much I have. That might be... Okay. Uh-oh. So the idea is to get it completely off the cardboard. There we go. So the idea is to make a little bow at one end. Not too big. And it's going to sit in there. And then you're going to move your string around. First of all, we have to straighten it because it's all wonky. Ow! Don't do that too fast. Okay. So we're going to put our... We're going to get our glue that goes clear. We're going to start in this corner up here, the top of glue. Stick our bow in there. Just hold it for a minute. And then we can come down and around. Actually, I'm going to make a loop right here. So let's get a little bit of glue. We want to give it the look like it's just sort of chill and enjoying its little curvy situation. Okay, and then we're going to have it come around to this point. And then up again. It's going to match with this point. There we go. Just hold it for a second so that it's looking like it's having a nice little stroll. And if you have kinks, those are the places you want to glue down. Okay, this guy doesn't want to stick, so I'm going to have to hold it for a minute. Like I said, this is the very last thing you want to do. And then we're going to have this guy stuck there. A little bit under there. A little bit there. And we're going to have a loop up here. So, blue here and there. It's a little fiddly, but you can see how it's starting to come along. And then we're just going to have it come and go right off the page over here. And actually, I think I'm going to put it in a little knot. But first, let's get this glued down. There we go. Here. Alrighty. So that's good. And we'll have a little bit here. Now this is coming up. All right, I'm just going to let this settle a minute, and then I'm going to tie my knot at the end there. All right, so this is your finished layout. You could continue to do more to it. I'm going to bring my camera in just a little closer so you can see some of the detail. All the little dots and bits of color on there that aren't completely obvious at first. All right. And that is your finished layout. And I should be able to tie a knot at this end, hopefully without pulling out. And I want to have the knot on the page. There we go. And then trim the end. So that it's the same as the end that's on the other side. When using glue, you should always have it laying on its side while in use, or upside down. And there we go. Ta-da! Finished layout. Thank you again for another great night, and I look forward to seeing you next Thursday. Bye-bye, everyone.